Hello dear students, welcome to Alibro's EduSoft. I am Wasima Tasnam. This video is 8th Standard NCERT Geography textbook's 4th chapter and its name is Agriculture. Let's go to the chapter. So students, as I said before, our topic is about agriculture. In this chapter, we are going to deal about the economic activities, the conditions for agriculture and different types of farming, major crops that we know and what are the methods that we can implement to improve the agriculture. Let's go to the chapter. The economic activities are classified into three. They are primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary factors include agriculture, fishing, gathering, etc. Secondary are the ones that is the manufacturing of the crops and all, which includes industries, etc. And the tertiary factor are the services. The services are like trading, transportation, banking, advertisement, etc. About 50% of the world are having agriculture. In India, 2/3 of the population are doing agriculture. The term agriculture is derived from two words. They are agar and culture. Agar means soil and culture means cultivation, which made the word agriculture. There are different types of agricultures that we know. First one is sericulture. Sericulture is the cultivation of silkworm. Pisciculture is the cultivation of fishes. Viticulture is the cultivation of grapes. Horticulture is the cultivation of fruits. The favorable conditions for agriculture are climate and soil. Climate factors are temperature, rainfall, humidity and frost-free conditions, especially for cotton cultivation. There are different types of soil in our country, that is black soil, red soil, alluvial soil and loamy soil, etc. Next, I am going to say about what is arable land. Arable land are the land which is fertile land or the land at which we grows our crops. In the given figure, you can see green regions marked over there, which are the arable lands you can see in the world map. Next, I am going to deal about the prerequisite condition for agriculture. They are input factors and output factors. Output factors are the ones that we already know, that is the crops. The crops we produce are the output factors. Input factors are the type of machinery we use, the technology we use, the type of seeds that we use for the production of crops, type of chemicals and the methodology that we use for the production of crops. The input factors are classified into two. They are physical factors and human factors. Physical factors include rain, snow, temperature, type of the slope in the land, sunlight, etc. And the human factors includes the labor, the machinery we use, the place where we store the seeds and equipments and the chemicals that we use for the production of crops. Next, I am going to deal about the types of farming. There are two types of farming. They are subsistence farming and commercial farming. Subsistence farming is a type of farming that we used for the production of crops only for the household activities. They use low technologies for subsistence farming. But commercial farming is the production of crops in which are used for selling it in the market, that is for business purposes. Subsistence farming is again classified into two types. They are intensive farming and primitive farming. Let's go to intensive farming. Intensive farming uses a very small amount or area of plot and they use huge number of laborers. They use simple technologies for the production of crops. Examples of intensive farming crops are rice, wheat, maize, etc. It's mostly found in Ganga Brahmaputra area of a country, and also Southeast Asian regions. Primitive farming is again classified into two types. They are shifting and nomadic herding. Shifting is the process of cultivation of crops on more than one plot of land. Shifting farming is mostly done by looking into the seasonal changes on various areas of our country. The farmers shift lands according to availability of different kind of seasons. Shifting farming is mostly found in Amazon tropical regions and also southeastern and northeastern region of India. Next is nomadic herding. Nomadic herding is mostly found on desert areas of the world. The people who are doing nomadic herding are usually nomads. That is, they don't have any specific house. They travel from one place to another. They use sheep, camel, yak and goat for their herding purposes. It's mostly found in Sahara regions, Central Asian regions, Rajasthan and Ladakh region of India. Next, I am going to say about commercial farming. Commercial farming is a type of farming which is done for the selling of crops in the market. Commercial farming is classified into three types. They are commercial grain farming, mixed farming and plantation cultivation. Commercial grain farming is the type of farming which produces specific crops like wheat, maize, etc. They are mostly found in USA, Europe and all. Next is mixed farming. Mixed farming is the production of crops in a particular area, but different crops are produced in a particular area of land. They produce food, fodder, etc. and also they take care of their livestock. It's mostly found in Europe, New Zealand, Southeast Australia and Argentina. Next is plantation cultivation. Plantation cultivation is the type of cultivation of specific crops with large capital and huge number of labor. They use large capital and huge number of labor. Just for example, Britishers introduced rubber in Kerala and tea in northern parts of India. Examples of plantation cultivation crops are tea, coffee, sugarcane, etc. Major countries in the world also produce different kind of plantation crops, like for example, rubber is cultivated in Malaysia, coffee in Brazil and tea in India and Sri Lanka. Next, I am going to deal about the major crops that we grow in the world. First one is rice. Rice is mostly cultivated on tropical and subtropical regions of the world. The regions with heavy rainfall and humidity. Examples like the countries China, India, Sri Lanka, etc. Next is wheat. Wheat is mostly cultivated on the regions with moderate rainfall and temperature. It's mostly cultivated in USA, Canada, India, etc. Next is millets. Millets are mostly cultivated on coarse, sandy soil and also in the regions of low rainfall and moderate temperature. The major millets are jowar, bajra, ragi. It's mostly cultivated in Nigeria, China, Niger and also semi-arid regions of India. Next crop is maize. Maize is mostly cultivated on the very moderate temperature regions and the regions at which we get lot of sunshine. Maize is cultivated in large amount in North America, Brazil, China, Russia and also in India. Next is cotton. Cotton is cultivated in the regions at which we get very high temperature and also with very low rainfall. It is cultivated in areas at which there is 210 frost-free days. That is, there must not be any kind of very cold temperatures. Cotton is cultivated in black and alluvial soil. Cotton is cultivated in large amount in the countries like China, India, USA and Pakistan. Next is jute. Jute is also known as golden fiber. Jute is cultivated on the regions with very high temperature and rainfall. Jute is usually cultivated in alluvial soil and tropical regions of the country. Jute is cultivated in a large amount in India and Bangladesh. Next is coffee. Coffee is cultivated in very warm and wet condition and loamy soil. Coffee is cultivated in large amount in Brazil, Colombia and India. Next is tea. Tea is mostly cultivated on the regions of the world with very high rainfall throughout the year. Tea is an example of plantation cultivation crop. Tea is cultivated on loamy soil. For the production of tea, we use a huge number of labor. Tea is produced in Kenya, India, China and Sri Lanka. Next, I am going to deal about the different methods or technologies used for the agricultural development. The first one is increasing the cropped area. By improving the area of land that is used for the production of crops will help the soil to absorb more amount of water and that may lead to the soil to become more fertile. Next is increasing the number of crops and increasing the usage of certain varieties of crops in a particular area of land. Next is increasing the irrigation facilities or the irrigation technologies. By implementing more and more good machineries for the irrigation facilities will help the crop to grow faster. Next is use of fertilizers in a proper manner and usage of HYV seed. The use of fertilizers and HYV seed were introduced in the Green Revolution that we will study later on. Next is improving the mechanization that we used for the production and cultivation of crops. The farm area in India uses 1.5 hectares and in the case of USA, they use 250 hectares of land for the production of crops or agriculture. Okay students, I am winding up this video from here. The remaining portion of the chapter will be taken on the next videos. I hope you have understood my class. For any queries, please contact this email ID. Thank you.